Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. Today, I'm talking about Love. No, not that kind of love, the video game named Love. I had some downtime this afternoon, so I decided to browse all of the free games that I have acquired over the years, either through Amazon Prime or Epic Games, and I stumbled across this game, How Long to Beat, estimated about half an hour to play through, so I thought, sure, why not? And it's in February, so what better time to play Love? Why is it called Loved? I honestly can't tell you. It is a pixely 2D platformer with no dialogue and not even any other living thing necessarily, so I don't know if there's really anything for your character to love. Maybe the game is so awesome that you just love it. This platformer can be significantly difficult depending on how much you abuse the checkpoint system. The controls are very simple. You can move left and right, you can jump, and then if there is a solid platform, you can create a checkpoint as many times as you want, depending on what difficulty you decide to choose. Now, there is one, I think the first one that they suggest is one that limits your checkpoints or something like that. Anyway, I decided to just give myself unlimited checkpoints. I didn't really feel like challenging myself this afternoon, so I tried not to abuse the checkpoint system, but if I came across an area that I was struggling with, you bet I abused that checkpoint system. Other times I would forget to place a checkpoint system before I did a long string of platforming, and if I was to die right at the very end, oh shoot, I gotta start all the way back at where I was at the beginning. It's not too big of a deal though, because when you do die, you pretty much respawn immediately. I do feel like I would have had an easier time playing this game with a controller instead of a mouse and a keyboard. It was just kind of hard to gauge how far I want to jump using the arrow keys, and I think that a analog stick would have made that a little better. Sometimes I would have to tell myself like, okay, slow down, breathe, because I would just respawn immediately and jump right into the hazard, and then respawn and jump down the hole and respawn and jump back into that same hazard. So I had to like tell myself to calm down. You almost need that respawning period sometimes in order to help you take a breath and game out your plan, where you're planning on jumping, rather than respawning immediately and jumping right into the same hazard over and over again. Even though the graphics are very, very, very simple and pixely, they do some interesting things with the limited visuals that they have. Like you're jumping through this radioactive broken area, or you are crawling into what I assume is a giant creature, because like first you crawl through his mouth and you have to avoid these big old teeth, and then I assume you're going through his digestive tract. That's what people had to do back in the day with simple graphics. You kind of had to make up your own stories or try to interpret what the game designers wanted you to see. The music is alright, but with a couple of really good tracks that I did enjoy. It's just this very electronic beat as you are playing through all of these stages, and the stages aren't too long, and I can't tell you how many stages there are, but in terms of like changing it up, keeping things fresh, there were some repeats in terms of the music, but it wasn't too noticeable or annoying just with the length of the stages and the game as a whole. But I did like seeing all the variant stages in terms of like what the color was, or usually they're based around a certain kind of theme or platforming action, and they do some interesting things with the platforming. Like there's one level that you jump onto these platforms and they will move left and right depending on where you are running, and so you kind of have to like place these platforms as you're running across in order to jump over certain obstacles. There's this one stage with like flailing tentacles that just launches a ton of sparks at you, and you kind of have to avoid those. There's one with like these giant rings that are slowly rotating around the whole stage, and you have to like time your jumps and your runs in order to go through the gaps between these giant rings. Overall, the game took me about 20 minutes to play through. Not a bad way to spend your lunch break, really. I did get graded a grade F. Maybe that's just because I died so many times or my time was awful. I didn't spend too much time looking over my results. It probably was because of my difficulty, where I just chose the easiest one with unlimited lives and unlimited checkpoints, and I just wanted to experience the game and what it had to offer rather than really like challenge myself. But I could see this game being a little addicting if you just have an afternoon and you wanted to get some really good challenging 2D platforming action. Overall, I'm going to give this game a 2 out of 5. Not bad. The price is right for what I was able to get it. It kind of reminded me of the olden days before I had any like good video games to play through, or I had played through them all, and so I was just spending an afternoon wasting away on addictinggames.com, or one of those like flash 2D platforming games that you would just you would get enamored with for the afternoon just because it was challenging you and you wanted to overcome that challenge. Well guys, that's it for me. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about Love. I can't help you much with the real thing, but I might be able to talk to you about the video game. That's it for me though. I'll talk to you later. Bye!